It's the Fort Hays State University Coaches Show on Eagle Community Television, brought to you by Eagle Communications.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of Tiger Talk. This is Gerard Wellbrock. We'll soon be joined by head women's basketball coach Tony Hopsin and men's coach Mark Johnson. Big week of games out of Gross Coliseum. The ladies win both, beat South Dakota School of Mines in their final non-conference game, and then great win over number 4 Pittsburgh State, a 19-point victory on Saturday afternoon. The men split. They beat Mines and then lose a tough 5-point game to the Pitt State Gorillas. Both teams on the road at Emporia Wednesday and then on the road in Topeka to play Washburn on Saturday. So we'll get into all of that when we return. The program, again, brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, where the fire's always burning. We'll take our first break, and head women's coach Tony Hopsin will join us right after this on Tiger Talk. Hi, I'm Gerard Wellbrock, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, inviting you to join me for Tiger Talk. Airs Monday nights from 6 until 6:30 on Tiger Radio Mix 103, and then the video replay on Eagle Cable Channel 14 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Preview the last game and look ahead to the next week's action on Tiger Talk. Monday nights, 6 till 6:30 on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and on Eagle Cable Channel 14. And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock and head women's coach Tony Hopsin, brought to you again by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill in Hays, where you can sample the onion ring tower for just $6.99 for your appetizer, or try the spicy green beans. Some of the new appetizers they have now at Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, where the fire's always burning. Lady Tigers, since we talked to you last, picked up a pair of wins. Final non-conference game last Thursday, they rolled by South Dakota School of Mines, and then the highly anticipated matchup with number 4 Pittsburgh State, and really didn't live up to the hype. Lady Tigers played outstanding, and they go on and win it by 19. All in all, pretty good week for your squad. Got a nice win. And I know a game you're a little worried about on Thursday with South Dakota Mines, with that Pittsburgh State looming just a couple of nights after that. And your team really did a good job of taking care of business, winning that game, and then obviously had the great outing on Saturday.
Well, the Thursday game was, I wasn't necessarily so worried about winning or losing it. I mean, I thought that was a game where, since we were at home, and we could probably play an average game and still have a good chance of winning, but you just can't afford to do that when you got something looming on the horizon like the game we had coming in Saturday. So I was concerned just about being fairly sharp on Thursday and hoping it would carry over into Saturday, and I thought we accomplished that, especially the second half. We're very good defensively against them, and then Saturday's game was, just one of those great games in our Coliseum, where you have a great crowd and your team plays well, and everybody's into it and things go your way.
Well, it was an electric environment. Really didn't get that loud because you jumped out to the 8-0 lead. It was early on, but you were in control. And it seemed like every time Pitt would try to mount a little bit of a run, you were right there to quiet it down, and kept that thing right around double figures most of the way, and eventually pulled away to win it by 19. Hard to imagine your team playing much better than they did. Hopefully they can, but much better than they did really for 40 minutes on Saturday.
Well, I don't think under those circumstances, with all the hype around it, that I don't expect us to be able to play much better than that, because our mistakes were limited. Our defense was outstanding, and offensively, we only scored 62 points, but at the same time we only took 6 threes, made half of them. We're pretty efficient, shot a high percentage, got the ball where it needed to go. I thought we were patient, and the second half, like you said, I don't think they ever made more than 2 baskets in a row on us the whole game, and any time you can just limit those runs to 3 or 5 points at a time, and then Kate really took over the second half, and we got the ball to her when we needed to, and it kind of carried us through.
Carrie-Ann Shaw, I mean, we've talked about her all year, so solid, gets the double-double for you, 11 points, 10 boards, but her defense on Geronimus has to be as well played as anybody has gone against Geronimus in her career, because she is so good, the 3-time All-American, but Carrie-Ann, just defense, offense, all around, just solid from the start on Saturday.
Well, her offense was a game changer for us right from the outset. You could see that that their game plan was to double off of her in the post onto Kate. And when you hit those first 2 shots, it kind of just changes the complexion. They started coming out on her a little bit, and that's why Kate had the opportunities then the rest of the game to actually go one-on-one at times. And if Carrie can't hit a few shots or somebody can't, that never happens. So she not only defended Geronimus well, and that's a tall order, because there's very few players in our league that can score from everywhere in all different ways. And Geronimus she hit a couple threes. She's good on the drive and the little spin in the lane. She's really strong, and she can post up. So you have to have a special kind of kid to match up with her and just try to play her head up. And we didn't ever double her, and Carrie did a great job of just making her work for everything, and that's the only way we can keep them down to that many. 43 points for them is like ridiculous. So Carrie did a great job. Yeah,
season low in points, season low in shooting, just 28% for Pittsburgh State. What does a win like that do? And it sounds crazy. You're 18-1. You'd won 16 in a row going into that one, but you beat a top 5 team, second year in a row. In fact, you've beaten a team like that at home. But to beat a team like Pittsburgh State, who is year in and year out contending for the league championship, I know your team knows they're pretty good, but that has to even give them a little bit more confidence to win a game like that, one they really haven't played this year yet.
Well, if it didn't, it should. And we've won a lot of big games the last few years where we're capable of beating anybody on a given night if we play well enough. And it always seems, you win 17 in a row, and now it's, well, can you beat a ranked team on the road? And, can you beat Baylor? Or it's never enough. It's always got to be something else. Mm-hmm. So, it's the good thing is that your program's in a position where some of the games now you're playing are huge games, and they have ramifications of conference title or region ranking, or they mean so much more. So, it's one thing for a team to kind of step up and upset a ranked team once in a while when there aren't any expectations and you're loose, and that happens a lot. You see it, but our expectations are there now, and for our team to perform like we did Saturday, when we expect to win. There's pressure on us to play well, and you're facing a well-coached, excellent team like Pittsburgh State. For you to come through in those circumstances is just a different level. So I was really proud of the way our kids not only prepared for that game, but executed it on Saturday.
Well, it was a great day Saturday, and as Tony kind of alluded to, it doesn't get any easier. In fact, now an even bigger game as the Tigers head to Emporia on Wednesday to take on the second-ranked Hornets. We'll talk all about it when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine and Hayes, where the fire's always burning. More to come right after the break.
Eagle Mission Control, this is the Jetson family, 2235 Central.
Yeah, copy that, Jetsons. What's your situation, over?
Santa brought lots of new Wi-Fi gadgets last night. Are we a go or no-go on our internet speed?
Looks like you have our Turbo 15 meg speed. You are a go for streaming and surfing on multiple Wi-Fi devices.
Boost your Eagle internet speed with the next level upgrade today for a successful takeoff for your streaming devices. Call Eagle at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi, I'm Andrea Clinkscale, and this is...
Wait a minute, I'm Andrea Clinkscale.
And I'm Chris Munch. Join us on House to Home. That's a house. We're going to talk about homes from top to bottom, left to right, front to back, and where's it going to air?
It's going to be on Eagle Community Television, channels 14 and 614, or you can even watch it on HayesPost.com.
Very cool. Bring a pencil. You're going to need one.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head women's coach Tony Hopsin. It's all brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine in Hayes. Need that late night snack? Check out the great appetizers on hand, or maybe after the big game, stop on by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, where the fire's always burning. As the coach mentioned, you don't have a whole lot of time to relax and enjoy the win. You move right on and face another good team, another top 5 opponent, Emporia State. They were ranked number 1 for a couple of weeks this year, number 2 as of now, and obviously very, very good basketball team, and another tough challenge for you on Wednesday.
Well, I think they should probably still be ranked number 1, but that's just me. They've lost 1 game this year, and that was a 1-point loss away from home to a good Central Missouri team. So they've been good for a long time, and they're solid. They've got size, they've got good shooting, and just a good all-around team. They're very balanced. Their venue that we play in there is probably the only place that rivals ours in noise, and it's not because they have any more people than we do there. It's just it's a smaller place, and there's seats right on top of the floor, and so it's a fun place to go play. I always, even though you don't win very often there, I always enjoy that because it's. There's a lot of interest in their program, and they get people to come to their games. And I think, we've played well there in the past, and I expect us to play a good game. I don't know if it'll be good enough, but we'll go find out.
And you've been so close. I mean, you've had some great battles at White Auditorium, just haven't quite been able to get over the hump and beat them probably a couple times you should have and just didn't get it done. Is that on the mind of your team? I mean, hey, we're due to finally win one of these. Let's get it done.
Oh, I don't know what's on the mind of a 20-year-old girl, but I think that they feel like, even last year we went in there and had just lost Kate Edwards, so didn't have her, and we lost by 3, played them very tough, and I think in our minds that we know that if we play well, that the opportunity will be there to possibly win the game, and so we don't necessarily think about all those outside things as much as just trying to control ourselves and just do the best we can and try to perform at the highest level possible and let the chips fall. If we always talk about not ever losing a game, but possibly getting beat once in a while. And I don't want to lose the game Wednesday. It's possible to get beat and not lose. You could play well, still lose to a great team on the road. So, like I said, it should be a great matchup between 2 good teams and probably the 2 best post players in the league. They've came out of high school together, and they faced each other for 4 years, and so that's always a good matchup too. And
they've added a pretty good freshman guard who's really kind of changed the complexion of their team. It's pretty impressive what she's done as a rookie.
Well, she's excellent. The Lackey girl is, we recruited her and really liked her. She's going to be a good one for a long time. Has a little size, 5'8" or 9", point guard, and she's not a freshman. I mean, she doesn't play like a freshman, so you just have to try to deal with her best you can, but she is a good, solid player.
All right, well, it should be a lot of fun. 5:30 Wednesday night at White Auditorium, a great historic venue. It should be another fun basketball game as the Ladies Tigers take on the Lady Hornets. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Looking forward to Wednesday. We'll see you in Emporia.
Okay, thanks, Gerard.
That is head coach Tony Hopsin again Wednesday. And don't forget Saturday, the Tigers, another tough one at Washburn for a 5 o'clock tip for that one. So rivalry week, which really stretches for about the next 3 or 4, continues for Fort Hays State women's basketball. We will take a break. When we return, we'll catch up with head men's coach Mark Johnson. Tiger Talk brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill at 3203 Vine in Hayes, where the fire's always burning. And we're back right after this.
Imagine powering all of your Wi-Fi devices seamlessly with Eagle Fusion. Your laptop, gaming system, and other electronics connect to Eagle's internet. Call 877-61-EAGLE to get Fusion for only $5 per month.
Imagine your favorite TV show following you through the house. With Eagle Fusion, you can stop your favorite program in one room and start up in another without missing any of it. Get Eagle Fusion for only $5 per month by calling 877-61-EAGLE today.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, joined now by head men's basketball coach Mark Johnson. The program brought to you again by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine in Hayes. And great lunch specials. They'll get you in and get you out in a hurry and back to work or whatever you have to do in the afternoon. So stop on by at 3203 Vine in Hayes, where the fire's always burning. Tigers split their 2 games this past week since we talked to you last. Beat South Dakota School of Mines, a team that gave a pretty good battle in the first half and then rolled away in the second half, and then a tough 5-point loss at home to Pittsburgh State. And I guess kind of mixed reviews. Really probably 2 good halves of basketball out of the 4 games and a couple of halves, especially on the defensive side, you'd like to have back, and maybe it would have been a little bit better week.
Yeah, I thought the second half against Mines, we really started firing on all cylinders there offensively. I think we shot 76%, 8 of 10 from 3, and really, a big confidence boost for us, and thought we did a good job. You come out Pitt State, I think we hit our first 4 threes. We're up 12-2. Really got off to a nice start. That hot shooting kind of carried over, and then kind of hit the wall. We couldn't, we didn't guard quite well enough in the first half, and then you look at after the game, we hit our first 4. We finished 8 of 21, so really we finished the game 4-17 from 3, and right now, for us, that's not going to be good enough for us to win. I mean, we're going to have to make some perimeter shots at a pretty high level. Their pressure got to us. Thought the second half we really locked in, played good defense, held them to a low percentage, and just, again, couldn't get quite enough stops at the end, and probably more importantly, couldn't make enough big offensive plays for us to win.
Yeah, and had certainly some chances, and you got some stops to give you a chance, but either missed a shot or maybe didn't execute, something broke down, just couldn't find a way. And we've talked about it, that margin of error is pretty thin right now, and those are the little things that make it tough to overcome in a game like that.
Yeah, right now, I mean, we have to guard for 40 minutes. I thought against Pitt, we let them, even though they only had 34 points, we probably let them score some baskets we couldn't afford for them to do. We got off to such a good start. We needed to stay probably a little more committed on the defensive end and try to, maintain that lead a little bit. Second half, I thought we did a much better job of that and prevented them from getting to the rim. I thought we did a good job on the glass. They shot a pretty good percentage from 3, even though they didn't take a whole lot of them. They made some. I think the biggest one we finally got the lead up to 4, and one of their guards stepped up and hit a big 3 and cut it back to 1, and it was just kind of back and forth from there. But we just got to not get down on ourselves. Keep trying to work hard. Keep trying to figure out what we need to do. I think we're kind of even though it's into January right now with the loss of our point guard, we're kind of a team trying to find themselves and finding a different identity and what we need to do to go forward and be successful. I think Kachoki right now is probably the guy that's having the biggest struggle. He going before Craig got hurt, I think he was had the highest percentage shooting in the conference, or definitely one of the highest at 51%. He was a guy who was getting about 10 points a game. Right now we're playing him 38 minutes, playing him out of position. He's fatigued. He doesn't get very many open looks, and then when he does, he doesn't have his legs. So we got to find a way to get him off the ball at times and find him some shots. So there's just some things we need to continue to try to discover about our team.
Yeah, just going to bring him up. He seems to be affected. It's certainly understandable as much as anybody with Craig's absence, having to play the extra minutes, be the point guard, and really has completely changed the way he has played and his style of play.
Yeah, he's a finisher, and he doesn't have a guy right now that can really get him the ball and let him finish the play. He's having to bring the ball up the floor, and really that was our biggest problem. The way Pitt State guards is they just get out, really ball pressure, try to deny every passing lane, and there's 2 ways you beat that. You either throw it inside or you drive it inside. And, our driving ability is a little bit limited, and then we'd like to throw it inside, but I felt like the pressure, our guys had to come up and set some ball screens to relieve the pressure, so our big guys couldn't really sit down there as much as you would like. And, now we've been a ball screen team. I think, all the last 3 years with Craig, I think that's what Craig does best, but you look at everybody else, we're probably more of a motion and movement team, and that's something we really haven't worked on. So, again, there's the things we got to continue to try to improve, set better screens, make reads. Teams are pressuring like that, back cut, curl cut, and not just interchange.
Well, the Tigers on the road now for the next 2 as they continue a little stretch of rivalry games. They'll be in Emporia on Wednesday night and then travel to Topeka for an evening game on Saturday with the Washburn Ichabods, and we'll talk all about it when we return. Tiger Talk, again presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill. Back with our final segment with Coach Mark Johnson right after this.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
And welcome back. It's our final segment on Tiger Talk, presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill. Well, they have over 10 steak options on the menu: sirloins, ribeyes, New York strips, even the Porterhouse, again voted the area's best steakhouse at Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, where the fire's always burning. As we mentioned, the Tigers on the road. They've been a lot of home games here to start the year. They're going to be on the road a lot here down the stretch, including this week, Wednesday night in Emporia, and then Saturday night in Topeka to take on Washburn. Let's start with the Hornets. They're a team that's kind of struggled a little bit, right under 500 overall, just 2-8 in the conference, but yet a capable team, and it's really that way in the MIAA. Even the teams that don't have great records, still not too bad. This will be a challenge on Wednesday.
Yeah, you look, I mean, they're just the opposite. They've played 5 straight conference road games. So, I mean, anytime you go in this league and play on the road, they're going to be hard to win. So I think their record has a lot maybe to do with, so far of where they've played and haven't had many home games. You look, they have Terrence Moore, who offensively is, as far as scoring and putting points on the board, might be as gifted as anybody in our league. So, we have to find a way to slow him down. You look at the last couple games, what teams have done is just gone to zone and try to limit him. And I know, they're aware of that. So, that's something we might have to do, but I'm sure they're preparing for, and trying to get better against the zone. So, all the games we have the rest of the way, like I tell our guys, I don't feel like there's a game we can't win, but obviously there's a game we can't lose, and that's what the MIAA is. And we come out there and play really hard and focused and do a better job of taking turnovers. That goes back to the last game, Pitt State. We had 11 turnovers in the first half. That gave us problems. The second half, we only had 4. We have to be a team that, guards really well, limits their turnovers, and then able to stick some threes at a decent level. And if we do that this week, there's no reason we can't be in those games and give ourselves a chance to win.
And then Washburn on Saturday, and I don't know if there's been a more up-and-down team in the MIAA than the Ichabods. At times they've looked as good as anybody. They've got some big-time wins, and then they've got some losses that kind of make you scratch your head. I guess you flip the coin and hope that maybe you get the team that has struggled, but they've kind of been good and bad, and unfortunately coming off a loss, so you got to expect they might be pretty good again when you face them.
Yeah, they're an unusual team this year. You look, they have 2 of the better wins in the conference. They won down at Central Oklahoma, won at Northwest Missouri. Then, they lose by 42 to Pitt, lose to Northeastern. So like you said, they've been a real up and down team, and they have very capable players. Alex North is one of the better players in our league. Algie Key, the transfer from Alabama, on talent and athleticism, is one of the better guys. So they have pieces. There's a reason they were picked, preseason 3rd in the conference. For whatever reason, they just haven't been able to consistently put it together. But they've shown on any given night they're as good as anybody.
And they'll be ready for the Tigers. Bob Chipman will play that rivalry up and have his guys ready to go.
Yeah, you talk to him. I know probably irritates the Hornet fans at times, but if you talk to him over the years and all those great battles in the 80s and early 90s, he'll say Fort Hays is as big a rival as anybody they have. So they seem to be up and ready to go when they play us.
Well, hopefully a good week for your squad. Maybe getting on the road will be just what they need to come together and kind of, as you said, find themselves a little bit and their new style of play, and we'll see what happens. But, Coach, we, as always, appreciate it and look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night at Wine Auditorium.
All right, thank you.
That is head coach Mark Johnson. Again, the Tigers and the Hornets, men's and women's, on Wednesday night, 5:30 for the ladies. Men followed around 7:30, and then it's a 5 o'clock tip for the women, and the men followed around 7 at Lee Arena in Topeka. as the Tigers take on Washburn on Saturday. That's going to wrap up the program. Certainly hope you enjoyed it again here today. It's brought to you, as always, by the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, James Motor Company, BTI, and as always, Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill. Locally owned and operated, 3203 Vine in Hayes, where the fire's always burning. For Coach Mark Johnson, women's coach Tony Hopsin, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long, everyone.
It's the Fort Hays State University Coaches Show on Eagle Community Television, brought to you by Eagle Communications.